Hey gamers, welcome to the Part-Time Gamers Club, where we game part-time but support gaming all the time. For those of you tuning back in, welcome to the crew. I'm Gio, alongside me is Gerard and Mike, and today is an off-the-cuff episode. So today, guys, I was looking at a lot of detail involving Ubisoft. So, what have you guys heard this week? Have you heard about the interesting news by chance?
I've heard a little
Yeah,
bit about Ubisoft, but like
I
there's
have
been a lot of
nothing.
news this week, so it's got pushed a little bit down. But like, it's crazy, man. Like how I don't know how you can keep messing up. Like it's mm, mm.
Mike, have you followed it since? I know you only did that one episode of the podcast with us, so you weren't in the other ones, and it was funny because I watched those dedicated Ubisoft,
Fans.
fans in the comments defending their dear Ubisoft.
I've seen a
We can't
video about it. I was like, I went into their comments. I was like, "You're an idiot. You're an idiot. White knights should not exist. Like it's dumb."
But have you, Mike? Have you heard anything since we did that one with you about that was
A
Assassin's
long
Creed?
time ago. A long
Yeah,
time ago.
that was Shadows.
While ago.
Yeah.
But the only thing I've ever heard is from when you guys just post the links up and just I see it and I'm like, okay, that's another issue going on.
All right, so let me catch you up on our favorite game developer and publisher, shall I say? Outlaw sales sucked terribly.
Who knew?
They messed up on the Funko Pop for Yasuke with the what do they call that? Damn, bro. Oh, it's because it was a representation of Nagasaki.
Nagasaki. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know the half. I forget what it's called. God, basically, it's a bad thing. Like it wasn't a good thing that they used that in the Funko Pop. Just look it up, Mike. You'll see. These guys are fucking idiots. They don't research shit.
I actually don't know anything about the Funko Pops, but I don't really pay attention to Funko. So.
Oh, okay. But basically, just think of this. Nagasaki obviously was one of the areas that got nuked, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it made the Japanese people pissed off that they had some kind of representation involving that.
Okay, now
Like-
I need to look this up. Now I need to look
Ubisoft
this
does
up.
not fucking think, bro. They don't think. Then basically they're not hiring men for their mentorship program. It's part of their DEI.
They're not hiring
Yeah.
any men.
No. It's got to be females or non-binary. I think.
That's
Are the other?
First off, that's not DEI because you're excluding a specific.
Well, no,
DEI is
it's part of
inclusive
their exclusion.
everything.
You have to. You have to.
What's the
You gotta
reasoning? Wait. What's the reasoning behind it?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I just know about it because I heard it, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I think they even posted something on their website about their mentorship program that's going to be focused mainly or towards women and non-binary, and it's just they're pushing agendas. Did you see they actually released a statement? The CEO that saying that they're not pushing an agenda and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I did see the statement.
I'm
That
like-
I did see.
If you have to make a statement, that's bad. That's bad. Like, it's gotten to the point where your investors are like, "Are you pushing an agenda?" They're being. Oh, so this is another thing, Mike. The CEO is being investigated by his own company. The investors have. Yep, they're orchestrating an investigation, and they're in the process of a hostile takeover. Like, they want the CEO out.
So it seems like it's stemming from one person and everybody else is not like the fallout, or is it just
No, the
Wait.
the stocks have dropped so bad, Mike. They're lower than when they first started going public.
yeah? But usually, if you're gonna do something like that, you gotta get your investors involved, like to have an agreement. Unless
No,
they,
it's
The
a majority. It's a minor. Yeah, it's a majority. Not a majority shareholder. It's what they call it, a major minority shareholder that sent out the email, told them they should go private. First off, then said, and by the way, they tagged the CEO in this email, which makes it even more fucking hilarious. Then said they need to change management and hire a new CEO.
Yes.
Yeah, like
They basically sent the email to CEO and was like, "I want your fucking head. I'm letting everyone know, and you know too. All right. I want you to know you're the problem."
I mean, at that point, if I was the CEO, I'll probably just be resign. Because
No, here's the problem though. So Yves, the CEO, is one of the 5 brothers, like literally, or one of the earlier iterations. He's been there. He's been the CEO since the 80s, like
Just a
literally
jump.
Ubisoft. When Ubisoft
That's-
became
that's just
Ubisoft
you
with
being
a
original,
space
doesn't
in the
mean-
middle.
that doesn't mean you can steer the company in the right direction just because you're like the founding fathers, I guess, if you want to say.
Yeah.
But like that's the funniest thing. It was like, oh, like he's been there for so long, so I think because it's a French company, I think the seniority thing is like, I've been here for so long, I'm a CEO, and then now just like seeing emails saying you should be fired, you need to be gone, and
Bro,
it's bad.
the funniest comment I read was Ubisoft told us players that we should get used to not owning games. Somebody should tell Yves that he should get used to not owning his company. I was like, damn. But bro, you know how bad that is? That we've never heard of that in the gaming world. A hostile takeover, like the shareholders are ganging up. Like that was the email too, Mike. That they're planning to get enough shareholders to overthrow him in a sense, basically, like kick him out, buy him out, basically.
The majority, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the CEO is having bad publicity and this affecting their money, which at the end of the day is affecting their money.
Oh yeah, the stocks are bombed, and now
they're gonna have one person to blame, and
it's always the head. It's always the head. You got to cut the head off of the steak.
Yeah. And you put someone new, and that person with the new CEO, for whatever reason, whoever you put in, is going to restructure that entire company. So
they're done. They're done.
That's why I'm saying, like, you cut off the CEO, you put a new CEO. The new CEO that you put down is going to cut everyone that was below him anyway.
All of management is gone, son.
That's why
They're
I was
gone.
like, the moment you replace the CEO, you've basically fired the entire, like, half the staff.
Well,
like,
yeah,
maybe the developers might be safe, but we'll see.
It just depends on the dynamic and how influence the CEO had on the management team. So of course, that when somebody comes in, they're gonna want their own team.
I feel like he had a lot of he was a lot of intervening because like he's been there since the 80s, but more importantly, he's seen every structural change to the company.
He was probably behind every structural change in a way, in some
he
aspect.
Influenced every single one of them. So
just to give you an idea too, so Mike, you get accused, right? Let's say you get accused of pushing an agenda, right? And your game that your biggest game, your biggest title, Assassin's Creed, has a protagonist that is African American. You're pushing an agenda, right? For a game that's stationed in Japan, right? When you push this game delayed, would you think in your right mind that it's a good idea to push the new scheduled date to Black History Month?
That's funny.
I mean,
it's February 14th. It's also the Day of Love, by the way.
I know it got delayed. I did not think it got, pushed back to Black History Month.
It's almost like they're trying to make it seem like everybody else is racist, including the Japanese people, if we give any backlash to the game. Like now, it's like, oh, you're just critiquing the game because it's an African American and we're releasing it on Black History Month. No, that's not why we've been criticizing your fucking game, bro. But I see what you tried to do there.
maybe it's just a coincidence.
No.
Maybe it's just February 14th. Love. Like you said, Valentine, love. I don't know. You know what?
Mike, if you're being accused of pushing an agenda and then you add, you weren't in that episode with me and Gerard, elements that you can choose to be gay or not with your characters. It has nothing to do with the storyline. You can just fuck whoever you want in the game. Do you still do something that's stupid?
It could be worse. They could have released it on Pride Month.
Yeah.
I already hate how many businesses are just like, oh, it's Pride Month. We switch our logo to our rainbow. The moment it is last day, switch it back. And I'm just like, man, no courage just like bandwagoning. This is bad. It's bad.
When was the Tokyo Game Show? Now I'm reading something.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the other thing.
That was the Funko Pop issue.
They say they dodged the Tokyo Game Show because they didn't want to have the negative feedback. They're being accused of basically delaying this.
This was September 26th. Okay, so we regret. It's what I'm reading. We regret to inform you that due to various circumstances, we decided to cancel our online participation in the Tokyo Game Show.
They should have ended that circumstances that of our own making. We can't go to the Tokyo Game Show.
No. They don't. It's not their own making. No way. Well,
so I found out the issue about the Funko Pop. So the Funko Pop has Yasuke, and behind him is a Tori from Nagasaki. The broken Tori from Nagasaki on the bombing is literally behind him. And I'm just like, man, why? Why? It doesn't need to be there. He's not even there when, like, Yasuke is not even at, like...
in the 1900s.
Yes, exactly. It's like this happened during World War II.
Now, let me... they don't deserve a devil's advocate, but let me say this. I could see.
No, don't even try it.
No, there's no defense here.
There is no defense, so I won't defend him.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, sure, there was war in Japan. Maybe stuff like that has happened, like they burned down a town, or maybe the Tory. But then I think the Tory's supposed to be something about like. It's supposed to be something
it's a religious
spiritual
gateway.
religious thing.
Yes,
yeah, correct.
It's a spiritual
so I don't think the
gateway to
Japanese would do that to their own Tory.
No.
Even if it's a different town that they took over or whatever.
It's a religious symbol for the Shinto.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Hey, but listen. They work closely with historians. Okay?
What is it? The one that was like lying in his book? Yeah, that's the one.
Well, that's one of them. But no, they said there was numerous historians. Yeah, that guy too. But
don't they usually double check, verify, triple verify, check every information?
You would think.
You say that, but obviously they don't.
Yeah. And I mean, bro, how do you put Chinese character subtitles? Like, how do you even let that happen in a Japanese game?
There is a defense, and I don't want to say this, and I don't believe this is the actual thing.
Wait a minute! If I couldn't give a defense about the other thing, you can't give a defense to that stupid shit.
Japan uses sometimes Chinese characters in kanji.
Okay, I guess. I still won't give that to Ubisoft, but I guess.
Now, it's not entirely Chinese. I would like that to be known. That's not the defense. I'm just saying, there is a defense. It's not theirs, but the defense of someone else would have been that.
Yeah, but nah, they just... So, that was one of the other things, too, because they put out a press thing, right? A statement for Outlaws. Outlaws had a softer sales performance than expected. Basically, it fucking bombed.
I was like, what was expected?
So, but listen. So they did that, right? And then they go, we can't understand, or something like, even though the game performed well with Metacritic 76%, and some other thing that they mentioned, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, no, it was Epic Game Stores, fan reviews. I'm like, first off, you were accused of bots in your YouTube release when your Assassin's Creed episode or your new trailer for Assassin's Creed came out, and you're trying to defend the game, and the dislikes, there's another wild percentage to likes. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, that Metacritic score, everybody knows those are gaming magazines that are either on your side and don't want to lose that, connection with you and want to keep that bond. I was like, but we all know that can be paid for. I was like, if you look at the user reviews on Google, it's like a 2.8. If you look at the user reviews on Metacritic, it's only a 5 point something. I'm like, your game is rated mediocre or shit on everything else when it comes to the actual players. We don't care about the gaming magazine.
I would say that I would never go with the critiques or like a critic's value at face value. Like, it's like, oh, the critics think this game's 9 out of 10. what do streamers and YouTubers think?
Yeah,
What are the
exactly.
people that are not getting paid for it? Not the streamers like this is a sponsored. Everyone's like, I'll take this with a grain of salt. When you go like this is not sponsored, I was like, all right, now I know the real opinion.
But Mike, do you know that they were actually flying out YouTubers to Disneyland for early release play for Star Wars Outlaw and paying for the entire trip? Like they were trying to even buy them. They were trying to buy them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hate on the YouTubers that takes it. Pretty
No,
money
no,
right there.
no. I'm not gonna hate on it, but at the same time, if you're a YouTuber that people
Value
look for
their
your
opinion.
opinion, yeah, exactly. You want to be an honest person.
Well, you get there, you go like, yeah.
Honest person.
This game is very unique and detailed. And then when you get back home, it's like this game sucks. Don't buy it.
When
Don't
the
buy it.
contract ends. When the contract ends.
No,
gonna see you.
I'm sure they signed. You got to sign something, bro. I'm sure.
Sign what, an NDA? I wouldn't be able to talk about it then.
That's
Which
probably
is a
what
good
you
thing.
asked for.
Anything.
Man, you gotta pay a whole lot of YouTubers if you're gonna do that. Sway it to your way.
Well, here's the thing too. So, just because this is gonna lead into what I think we should talk about anyway. And I found it kind of interesting because we've talked about this game before. The Assassin's Creed is being pushed back to 2025, but the new Ghost of it's not Tsushima, it's Yote is coming out, and everybody's like, "Well, nobody gives a damn about Assassin's Creed Shadows now." Because everybody's looking forward to Ghost of Yote because Ghost of Tsushima did such a great job with capturing Japan. Like everybody pays a lot of respect to what a great job they did with capturing Japan. So I'm like, you guys are really like, because I looked at that game Ghost of Yote and it looks beautiful. I mean, it's no gameplay trailer yet, but just like the opening, like I'm guessing like movie scene credits. It looks great. It looks dope.
If it's anything like Ghost of Tsushima.
Was that planned? Because that's a hell of a plan of dropping it.
I don't know.
That's smart on them.
Who?
Think it
Sony?
is.
Yeah.
Sony didn't drop that. Sony didn't care about Assassin's Creed. They
Just timing. The
I
timing
think
on it,
I
yeah.
think like it's not just like timing. I do think video game and especially AAA games, they try to get holiday season. So you go from October, November, December. Like that's their goal for like
Yeah.
very special high end games. So when Ghost of Yote is like probably announced, like, oh, it's probably going to be a holiday game or the beginning of next year, where like all the money is coming in. So you don't really you either plan for it to be winter or summer. Spring and fall really tend to be where the indie games or like the one-off AAA games come out. So is it unfortunate that Assassin's Creed is coming out at the same time of Ghost of Yote? Yes, but I don't think it's planned. Like, I don't think Sony's going like, we need to kill out Assassin's Creed. No, they're like, we need to make sure this is on Q4 so that we can get into our next Q1 with more projectives and with our numbers to back it up.
I'll take that, but it's just
no, it's not. It's not. We don't have an official release date yet for Ghost. It's just it's definitely 2025. So everybody's like, why would you push the game back to the same year Ghost is coming out? Which probably Assassin didn't know that when they announced it, because I think they just announced Ghost like 3 days ago. But it's like, dude, if that's the case, we're just gonna wait till Ghost comes out. Mm-hmm. Like, why would we buy your game? We already see that it's a disaster.
I mean, they like, so I was re-looking at the gameplay trailers, and I was like, this game looks like shit. Like the gameplay actually looks like shit as well. Like I was like, this isn't clean. It isn't polished. And I was like, this is supposed to be in gold because it doesn't look like it should be even close to gold at all. So it's crazy how they think that game would have received well. Like, I don't know who their QC is or their quality control is, but that person also needs to get fired.
But yeah, man, Ubisoft is Ubisoft. I look for seeing the demise, and hopefully I'll be honest. Hopefully, the shareholders take over. They go private for a little while, and then they get the right leadership in there that helps bring Ubisoft back to where it once was. But right now, with the leadership they have right now, it ain't gonna happen. They'll go bankrupt before then. But Ghost of Yoda, man. Gerard, I don't know how did you play Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah, I own it. I mean, I played it for a bit. It came out at the same time as like a lot of other games.
So what? I'm
liked it.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. I haven't started yet. But what is it similar to? Like playstyle.
Dark Souls.
Yeah.
God.
Maybe I
won't play.
More like Elden Ring. More like Elden Ring.
That seems even harder.
That's not hard.
He doesn't like hard, I guess.
It's open world.
Yeah, no Diddy.
But
Too soon?
Too soon. No, it's not too soon. You see all the memes? Have you been on the internet?
never too soon. But yeah, so like, I know you wanted to go in this direction, so I'm just gonna bring it up anyway.
Good.
Because Ghost of Yote looks phenomenal, right? But there has been some backlash to that game as well, and I hate the backlash. But if you don't know, the game is receiving backlash because there is a non-binary character or voice actor.
Voice actress.
That,
just a voice actress.
Yeah. They go by they them pronouns. And they're like a heavy voice character, and then the main character as well. The main character is a female, and those are the backlashes. That was like, why is the main character a female? Like you're pushing the gender, blah blah blah. And also, why is the voice actress so that they them? Why do they use they them pronouns? They should be like one or the other, or like don't use people like that. And I go like, Erika Ishii is the character, or the person, the voice actor,
actress.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know and follow their content and know them. They're a very amazing person and things like that, and like they do great voice. And I heard her voice in the game or like in the trailer and everything. I was like, this is like fine. It's like perfect. What are you talking about? Like you're exaggerating because they chose to put a person that themselves, the individual, is different than your normal, and you are throwing a hissy fit. Like I don't go through my games and look at the developers or the voice actresses and it's like, you hired this voice actress. This voice actress is everything I don't want to be. I'm not playing your game. That's stupid. That's stupid.
Don't let him play then. Miss out on a good game. Fucking idiot. Yeah. But you know what that is though, Gerard? I'm going to tell you what that is. That is a symptom of Ubisoft. Everybody thinks everything's going woke. Everybody is traumatized.
Honestly, like I do see that. I'm just like, this anti-woke movement is starting to frustrate me a lot because like I'm just like everything cannot be relative to woke. Some things are just bad because they are bad, not because they are woke. And this idea that like wokeism is affecting like all games is like, it's like maybe it's true, but like also not every time that it is true, it is bad. Maybe a lot of the games that are coming out are just bad, and we're just in this middle of the woke movement. So like, there's way too many games right now that are coming out with poor quality and just not like any good like ideas or anything like that. They're either repetitive or they are just like really safe, and it's kind of bothering me. Just like games like Space Marine 2 is a good example. It pushes the envelope of Space Marine 1 without trying to be safe, and that's why a lot of people like the game.
Toxic masculinity.
and like I wouldn't say so after like watching the like story and everything like that. I wouldn't say the game's like toxic masculinity. It is masculine for sure. Definitely, but it is that masculine fantasy that a whole bunch of people have. Like the same people that are probably playing Space Marine 2 are really big fans of Goku from Dragon Ball Z. And that idea is a stereotype, but like again, it is a norm in gaming culture that I understand. But when those people are throwing shit at another game that has the main character being a female, and that seems to be a problem. I was just like, what are you talking about? Lara Croft was an amazing female character. You also have like other female characters, like
What was the chick from Mirror's Edge?
Mirror's Edge. I know who you're talking about. Fate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also great character. I love Mirror's Edge. They need to reboot it. EA, listen, get your shit together. Get your shit.
Yeah, don't go down that Ubisoft lane. Stay the fuck away from that. Right? Get your shit together. Because Dragon Age, Veilguard, that's looking like another disaster. That's just looking bad.
I do not. No, we're not gonna go there because I also hate that game. But I don't hate it for like people are like it's woke. I'm like, no, it looks like shit, man. It looks like shit. Stop with the wokeism. It just looks like shit.
But I don't understand like because you said you brought it up and all right, you got an issue with her using they them fine whatever but it's not even just that. They had a problem with it just being a female protagonist, which I'm like you said, like, yo, those other dope female protagonists, like, to me, if they're gonna get in their feelings, they're gonna get in their feelings. But I feel like you're kind of insecure if you can't play a female character. Like, there's so many male-led protagonists throughout video games. It's probably like 95%, right? In reality,
I think
if you think about it,
low. I think it's like 98. I think it's like 98.
So, and it's like, yo, once in a while, a game has a female protagonist, and you're gonna trip like that? Like, really? Like, we came from a different age where we're like, oh, this is dope. We get to stare at at a female. That was called being a man. Like you got to admire that.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I don't understand. Y'all probably part of the Diddy parties. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't understand because like there are many badass female characters, and like Bayonetta, if you ever played.
Oh yeah. I heard. I never played it, but I saw it.
Yeah, and you brought up Mirror's Edge, and there's Lara Croft, obviously, but they never bring up anything about those.
Or Soul Calibur.
Soul
or
Calibur
Dead or Alive.
Sophia.
Dead or Alive, all the female characters. They made a volleyball beach edition. Remember?
That was definitely fan service. That was definitely fan service.
Where was the backlash? Where you didn't want male characters?
Exactly. I don't understand this gripe, and I do think it's the people that are like, oh, they're putting a female character because it's woke because they want diversity and everything. I was like, no, maybe sometimes the story only makes sense if there's a female fucking character. Or maybe they just want to put in those games. Like Stellar Blade, another example of a female character. Highly sexualized was like backlash, but no one complained about the main character being female. You know why? Over-sexualized. So like it's like unless it's pertaining to a male fantasy, it has a problem. They have problems with it. I'm just like, man, sometimes you can write a flat-chested, flat-ass female character well. And just go with it. Just go with it. All right. Now
I'm sure there was some backlash. Not that.
Yeah. It was probably the hardcore feminists, but like Gerard said just now. But Gerard, the reality is, all right. To say it the way it is, the men like that look at it, and we're the ones that buy it. So we're still the majority. 100%. We're still the majority. So like. That little minority that screams of DI at times and woke or whatever. I get their side of things, but if you want games like that to be successful, go buy the fucking game or shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do think like what problems we have right now is a stem of like we're looking at issues that are pertaining to like our culture and things like that. But right now we don't have a cultural problem in video games. We have a technical problem in video games, or like a miscommunication where the developers are not in sync with what the gamers want. They don't know what we want, and they're either forcing their own ideals or they are forcing what they think works. And they're going like, oh, we're going to put a black character in because that's cool. That's a stereotype. We have two main characters. I'm talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows, if you don't know. And they think that this is going to work, but like, you don't think about why would a gamer want to have that character. It's like, oh, in this case, maybe they want some like connection or relatability.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to make the character interesting in the first place and make the game fun. Because I don't want to relate to a character in a shitty game, right? I want to relate in a good game.
But can I ask you something? Mike, I want you to, give your feedback on this too. If you're going to buy a game that is literally telling you that they're going to be making this game about a time period in another country, right? Back in the 1500s. Are you really looking to relate with any of them? Or are you just looking to learn the culture, get an idea, get a feel for it? There's at no point in that game, if Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out, right, and there's no woke nonsense being spoken to me, there's no point, if we talk, let's take it back to the 90s, we're playing video games. At no point would I have said, oh man, I hope the samurai's Puerto Rican. Like, there's no point that I would have been like, oh, this is cool. We get to play in Japan. I'm expecting the main character to be the Japanese. I'm expecting all the characters to be Japanese. It's the 1500s Japan.
That's how you really feel, because you were like, good.
In the 90s,
I will say
about that at all.
I will say, playing devil's advocate now.
Oh God. You're doing it for the wrong company.
Apparently,
not
we left the portal to hell open because all these devils keep coming out.
If they were to say, "Hey, we're creating a game. It's gonna be loosely based in Japanese, culture, but we're mixing or say something like mixing it like in our
making correct
perception, like not
creative
saying
freedom.
like it, yeah, like creative freedom, because that's what we do in movies, right? They get creative freedom of what they see on their interface. We're seeing all these remakes with different,
And Hollywood was getting accused for whitewashing and everything, though.
Yeah, that's true. But if they were to like kind of announce it that way, I wouldn't foresee there'd be a lot of backlash.
But so let me ask you this though, Black Myth Wukong, are you upset there was no representation other than Chinese culture?
No, I'm not. I like the game. I said I play the game.
Either, because like Gerard said, all that matters is that it's good.
No, but that's not a code that yeah. As long as for us, as long as it's good. But some other people would like it to see to more in terms of diverse, and I can't argue against that then my point is, then don't play the game, don't support it, then why complain? Don't support it. That's where I kind of get the why cause this whole freaking big hoop over something that you can easily not buy.
But that's what I was trying to say, and maybe I was a little too much into my feelings on it. But that's what I'm saying is like, bro, like, it's okay that some games are not made for us. Like, for instance, like me and Gerard, there doesn't have to be Puerto Rican culture in the game for me and Gerard to play it. There doesn't have to be Asian culture for you to play it. You'll still play it if it's a good game. That's all I'm saying. Why do you have to expect or look for some type of representation for you in every game? Like that doesn't
every game, no, but it would be nice to have it at least once.
No,
at least once in a while. And that's the thing, though. Like, the thing is that if you say you can't, like, oh, you don't need to look at representation, sometimes you'll never get any representation. So you gotta be open, and it should be like, look, if someone wants to put a Puerto Rican main character in, that's great. I would like that. Am I going to get the game because of the Puerto Rican character? No, I need to look to see if it's good in the first place. That would be my forefront. But if you tell me I will never have a Puerto Rican main character because that just doesn't fit, then I'm a little salty, because like now I'm just like, why can't you just make that person Puerto Rican? Like that doesn't make any sense.
No, I get you, and you're right. There should be some representation in a game for us. Everybody should have their own representation. My question to you is, do you think we have the right to get mad that there's no representation of us in a game that's based in feudal Japan?
No, not in feudal Japan. No, that's a very specific thing. But
that's my point.
But when the times you could get angry, and I will say this, because this is not really a defense, because I do also think it was like when the people was like, "There's no women in Black Myth Wukong," and I was like, that makes sense because there are like women.
Well, Mike said
Chinese.
there is. Mike said there is bosses that are female. So I don't even know where that came from.
It might be the NPCs they were referring to, like the people you talk to. I don't know. I don't know the issue there, but I'm just saying, it was like when you can maybe consider it. If it's like, should there be any like Puerto Ricans or Brazilians in Japan at the 1500s? Probably not. They're probably not there, But like if they could be there, maybe you consider it. But those people are definitely not there.
That's a little far-fetched in terms of trying to put into a game that I will understand. Then that'd be crazy for you to freaking complain about. But like,
that's what I'm just saying.
But
just
there
if it
was
makes sense,
backlash.
do it. But if it doesn't, you don't have to.
There was backlash about Wukong because of that. Because there was no, I guess, white, black, female, like Hispanic, whoever group was complaining. It's like, bro, that's a game on Chinese mythology. Why are you looking for representation of yourself in that game? Are you Chinese? No.
Chinese women would beg to differ if they were talking about women.
I apologize to them. Yeah, you're right. There should have been some Chinese female NPCs.
Exactly. But I think we've like gone on because
yeah. No, but I think that's I'm good, man. That's just it's been an interesting week so far. Interesting week for sure with everything that's going on.
I'll give a little rundown of everything else that happened because we talked about Ubisoft real quick. 2 minutes. Nintendo suing Palworld again for patents. Stupid as hell.
Man.
Then you also have the Final Fantasy people, or Square Enix specifically, putting out a thing. They're like going. I don't want to say broke, but they're definitely in the red, and they're restructuring.
They're losing money.
They're losing a lot of money. We have the Monster Hunter Wilds new trailer with the release date as well. I did see.
Monster Hunter came out this week, right?
Yeah. Some play.
Yeah, we'll do a podcast on that.
And then, last but not least, the Last for Us season 2 official trailer for the second season basically of the actual video.
I'm excited, bro. That looks crazy.
I don't know if there was probably more news, but I did not see that or I did not write it down. So leave us in the comments of anything we failed to miss. I think that's all from us.
Failed to mention you missed?
You mean? We failed to mention any one of those two.
And what's your thoughts about everything going on?
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Later.
Peace.